joining us. Together for LA was developed as an initiative towards the middle of last year when it became clear that COVID was going to be here to stay. And one of the issues that we were seeing is that because of the vastness of LA and how many different things were going on, that no single organization, no single entity was going to be able to do it all. And that it was much better for us to start to compare notes and to figure out ways that we could work together to share information, share resources, et cetera. And so the initial folks that came together include LAEDC, and we're very happy to have Angela Amirkhanian here with us today, the Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce, and Andrea Nunn is here, and Tunua, I'm afraid I'm going to mess up your last name, but Tunua Thrash-Ntuk, I hope that's right, is here, the CEO of LISC LA. We're also part of it as the kind of the folks who are just focused on trying to promote resilience. And then we have the Dr. Lucy Jones Center, which is our science partners, and the city and county of Los Angeles have been along with us every step of the way. Just to give you a little bit of background about ISD, our mission is to catalyze resilience so that communities can thrive long-term. For us, Together for LA is an incredibly important project because we see it as a pilot and a model for how to develop public-private partnerships to share information around recovery and resilience needs. And what we're trying to model here, we think could be enormously useful for major metro areas across the United States. In terms of the specific things that we want to do is that we have our fingers on the pulse of many national corporate social responsibility programs, philanthropic foundation programs. We work with a lot of chambers of commerce, economic development organizations, and community foundations across the country. And we also work pretty extensively with the federal government. So we have a lot of access to resources and lessons learned that we want to try and connect the dots between these service providers and the people that really need it the most. Second thing that we want to do as part of our contribution to Together for LA is to identify and address issues affecting the recovery process. Things like we're going to get into actually in today's talk. And then, of course, we want to support the capacity of the system. We want to support the capacity of everyone on this call to address the recovery process. Obviously, we have a couple of things to share. And at the end of this initiative, we're hoping to have a report that we can pay it forward, that we can share across to other metro areas so that they can learn from what we've done here. As we've started having conversations around the city and the metro area, folks have said, why focus on small business recovery? There's so many issues and needs. And there are, and thankfully there are a lot of other organizations working on many of those needs. Small businesses, though, are particularly important for community health and for community sustainability. And Los Angeles is the small business capital of the United States. Small businesses mean more to the economy in Los Angeles than almost any other metro area or community that we know. The second thing is that in a lot of low income, at risk, vulnerable communities, you have food deserts, you have service deserts, you may not have a lot of critical services like daycare. And so cultivating your small businesses makes sure that you have dedicated resources there. Obviously, they're very important as job creators, and they're very important for the social fabric of the community. So the community benefits of supporting small business recovery have enormous ripple effects. Now, what you're going to hear from with our other partners is that we're constantly improving. We're constantly developing additional and more ways to address the biggest small business issues that we're hearing about. As many of you are doing, um, uh, just being there for small businesses as they navigate the processes and procedures of just going through the different assistance mechanisms is so important. Somebody told me that they felt that yes, they were there to provide technical assistance, but in a way they felt like they were a therapist. And that is another major issue that we're hearing from the small businesses that we talk with, is the stress of it. This lady here, Michelle Burton, for example, at M Squared Beauty Supply, was talking about how was working with a major client, and they had asked her to order like a thousand care packages around beauty supplies. And so she did it. But the time and the process of having to do it, the client went and ordered it from somewhere else. And so now she's sitting on a significant amount of inventory and trying to figure out where, how to move it. But, and she's also got a situation where the foot traffic outside of her store in Inglewood is not what it used to be because of COVID. And then you get LISC LA coming in to help her to take everything that she has to move it online. And you could just see as you talk with her that she has all of these cares and all these concerns that are weighing on her. But digital migration is turning into a huge bright spot for her. Now, several of the organizations on this call have significant English as a second language capabilities. And this is super important because in LA, over 56% of the people living in the county speak something other than English at home. And finally, as we all know, the supply chain disruptions are causing significant stress as well. So I want to finish up and turn it over to Tunua by just saying why this group matters so much. Obviously, the city is so huge, diverse, and complicated, and community leadership groups have the relationships and the social capital to really come in and connect with the members inside of their communities. And they have the knowledge and experience to really make a difference kind of deep within. And one of the things that we found in our research in other communities is that sometimes the people that you want to serve don't necessarily trust the government, or they don't necessarily trust someone that doesn't speak their same language, or they don't trust someone because of other differentiating qualities. And so community leadership groups like the ones that are on this call help to break through that and help to build up trust, and they're almost like trust brokers. So the more that we're able to build up this network and flow information to people so that they can hear it in the right way, the more effective the overall small business recovery and resilience agenda is going to look. So I'm going to stop here because I definitely want to reserve as much time at the back end for us to answer questions and have a discussion. I'd like to turn it over now to Tunua. Tunua, thanks so much for everything. And like I said before, LISC LA is doing some tremendous things.
Thanks so much, Stephen, and thanks for having me, as well as my colleagues on today, to share a little bit about some of the things that we've been doing, as you mentioned, over the past year plus to really support small businesses. And thanks again for the partnership with ISD. So I'm just going to go through a couple of things. You got to see a few of our businesses, which is great because you can see our staff out in the community working one-on-one with those local businesses. So at LISC, we happen to be national in scope. So we're a community development financial institution, and we work with residents and small businesses to create inclusive communities of opportunity. And we want to make sure that they're all great places to live, work, visit, do business, as well as raise a family. And I happen to oversee our Los Angeles office. And Stephen, you did a great job with my name, but since I don't mind hearing it again, I'll repeat it for the audience's sake. And I'm Tunua Thrash-Ntuk, Executive Director for LISC Los Angeles. So I oversee our LA office. Over just the COVID pandemic, just to give you some ideas, we did $8 million in low-cost loans to small businesses as well as nonprofits, where we really emphasize those that are led by people of color. We also were able to help deploy in partnership with a couple of partners here, including the LA Chamber, more than $106 million in grants to entrepreneurs and small businesses and to nonprofits, with the vast majority of resources going to micro enterprises and small businesses within LA County. So, Stephen, today you said is all about making sure that people are aware of the resources and what is out there to connect small businesses. So I'll just touch on the highlights of 3 programs that we are working on right now. And if there's anyone on my team, I believe Selena's here, we can just drop a link in the chat that has the link for the LA LISC office. So first, let's talk about our Entrepreneurs of Color Fund. So this is a great opportunity to invest low cost, very flexible capital into small businesses. We'd ask that you reach out if you're a business that is looking for resources. I also want to note that this is in partnership with a number of other business development organizations in LA County. And there is also assistance with coaching and operational guidance, as well as other training. So if you can get connected with us, we can provide you with a good onboarding of all kinds of resources that are out there in those areas. Then there is our Verizon Digital Ready program that we're offering right now, actively running. Verizon was one of the first corporations to stand with LISC nationally to offer grants to small businesses the moment that our doors had to close to the public so that we could remain safer at home. Right now, the Digital Ready program is an online platform. Anywhere you are, anytime that you have, you can log onto this platform and go through a series of curated courses that are based on what you need, what your business is looking for, and get personalized attention and support. Those businesses who sign up for this have an opportunity, if you sign up right away, to be able to win a grant via a weighted or selection process that we'll be going through. And then finally, I'll just touch on our Ascend LA program. This accelerator program is specifically targeting businesses that are in the construction, IT, professional services, health services sectors. We're looking for those businesses that are ready to grow their market footprint by being able to gain access to contracts from large corporations as well as municipalities and jurisdictions. In 2020, we were bold enough to launch this program. And as of 2021, we are now counting 15 million in contracts won from our businesses in this program. We are currently running our 3rd cohort. We're actively in the middle of it right now, and we can't wait to see how much money those businesses will be able to bring home in contracts because of the work that they've done with LMU, as well as our partnership with Renee Coda and his company. So with that, I'll just say that that brings us really to the end. Oh, just about. We'll just talk briefly about capital. LISC also, in addition to the technical assistance, we also do provide capital. So we're talking small business working capital products, from working capital to commercial real estate loans. You'll see our investment profile ranges from about 100,000 to 5 million, anywhere from 3 to 10 years, and personal guarantees are typically required. So with that, you'll find our contact information here. And Stephen, I'll turn it back over to you because I know that there are other colleagues that are also looking to present for today.
Tunua, thank you so much. And, really appreciate what you're doing. I think it's absolutely tremendous. I want to pivot now to Andrea Nunn. Andrea and I were up in San Fernando Valley and met with a pair of sisters who were running a small media studio called Alas Media. Mm-hmm. And Andrea, one of the things that really blew me away about them was that they were trying to stay in business and doing everything that they could to stay in business because they had one employee who'd worked for them for 3 years and they didn't want to lay him off, and as soon as we start talking a little bit about all of these programs, they want to share it with everybody. And this is one of the reasons why the work that you guys are doing has such an important ripple effect, I feel. So Andrea, can you give us kind of a brief overview of how the chamber is doing what it's doing?
Oh, absolutely, Stephen. And thank you so much for your partnership and leadership and the work that ISD does. And thank you to the colleagues on the phone here as well as part of Together for LA, all of the work that we do. We always say it takes a village. It takes a village to do the work that we do. The example of Alas Media is a really good one. During COVID and during the pandemic, they were really struggling with their own business. They did everything they possibly could. They pivoted their businesses. They were creative, they were innovative, and their core focus was to ensure that their employee stayed employed. And they did everything that they could to make that happen. The work that we do together as Together for LA partners, and it's so great to see other partners here on the line as well. Nancy, wonderful to see you. As I mentioned, it just takes a village. The support that we provide the small business community in helping them to pivot, to survive, to grow, to thrive, it takes all of our efforts together. So I appreciate everyone on this call in coming together and collaborating. As Stephen mentioned, my name is Andrea Nunn. I'm the SVP of Entrepreneurship and Innovation at the LA Area Chamber of Commerce. Just to provide a little bit of background in the organization that I work for, our vision is a thriving region for all. We have a lot of work ahead of us in that vision. We work as a bold advocate for business in representing business across 5 counties. We represent companies and businesses and the community from Ventura to Los Angeles to Orange County to Riverside and San Bernardino. Our focus too is in fostering a global economy. And the work that we do is grounded in community collaboration for local and regional economic growth and mobility. We do a lot of work on the public advocacy, public policy side of the house in advocating for small businesses, diverse businesses, ensuring that resources and relief is provided from our local, state, and federal government. We also focus on ensuring that global trade and foreign investment is robust and strong for our Los Angeles regional businesses. And that from a community standpoint, we're doing everything that we can to support our small businesses through inclusive procurement, through workforce, connecting talent to opportunity, and with a real focus and lens on DEI. As I mentioned, we cover 5 counties representing the region. At the local, state, and federal level, we are an organization that was established in 1888. We currently have 1,400 members that represent both the largest companies as well as the smallest companies in the region. Our focus under entrepreneurship and innovation is focused on our diverse small business community. We know that in the Los Angeles region, 93% of the businesses in our region have less than 20 employees. We work so closely with our micro entrepreneurs, our communities of color. We, again, focus on public policy, advocating for our communities. We focus on providing technical assistance, the support, whether it's access to capital or access to contracts, and through our network of partners. This network of partners here on the line today, as well as an expansive list of partners across the region, we work very closely with to ensure that we're collaborating and coordinating to ensure that the support and services for our small businesses are provided. We serve small businesses, startups, micro entrepreneurs, nonprofits. Our focus is on businesses owned by women and persons of color, and we have an uber focus on specific geographic areas of our region, such as South LA, East LA, the San Gabriel Valley, San Fernando Valley, the Inland Empire, and in Orange County, they're also participating in our procurement program as well. We wanted to share all of these programs are free and open to all of your members and all of your small business community. So we wanted to share that these resources are available to you and your community. We have a small business council that meets quarterly that is focused on advocating and the public policy work that I mentioned. We have monthly small business strong workshops that provide technical assistance, the access to capital, the access to contracts. We talk about business development and the strategies to grow a business. We have a procurement program that is inclusive in nature, and we have an annual small business summit, and throughout the year we do one-on-one advising and mixers to ensure that our companies are connecting with each other. Small Business Strong, here are some of the topics that we cover. Last month, with the support of Wells Fargo and the generous support of Wells Fargo for the Together for LA Coalition, we did a session on loyalty programs and point of sale technology platforms. Next Small Business Strong event will be on Cal Savers, so helping your employees to have a retirement savings account through the state. And then also, as Tunua had mentioned, we're supporting the Verizon Small Business Digital Ready program through LISC, and look forward to helping our businesses to sign up for this wonderful, valuable online training program. The One LA program, also like Ascend LA, is a procurement-focused program providing training, helping businesses to connect to contract opportunities. We launched this program in 2019, in addition to the cohort training program, which is a 6-month-long training program that helps mine and match opportunities, connecting companies to contract opportunities. We also do a monthly One LA Doing Business With event where we connect our small business community with those contract opportunities and the contractors. Our next one is November 18th with LA Care, and we are currently also recruiting for our next One LA cohort, which is the training program, Building Business to Win Contracts. It's a 3-part training program. We know that contracting can be very complex, hard to navigate, so we took a very hands-on approach, helping to establish the foundation in our phase 1 classroom-style lecture program. We provide coaching and help businesses understand capability statements, certifications. Here's how you do your research. This is how you position your company in the best possible light to win a contract. Companies that are then advanced from phase 1 to phase 2, we start working with them to mine and match opportunities. Again, with our partner CMG Alliance, with Renee Coda and his team, helping to mine and match those opportunities, help to submit proposals, and help to win contracts. Last year, for our first pilot training program, we were able to secure over $10 million in contracts, and we're very excited about the cohort that we're in right now. Looking forward to, we've already won 2 contracts, and we're working with our cohort of 25 companies to help them write their proposals, help them submit their proposals, win a contract, and then we also help with project management as they manage through ensuring successful delivery of that work. This is a list of all of the upcoming programs that the Chamber has scheduled for November and December through the end of the year. Please invite your small business, diverse business community. These programs are open to all. Do not have to be a Chamber member to participate in our 1LA Doing Business With events. Our Small Business Council, our Doing Business with Caltrans event is coming up on December 9th. And we also have that small business session, the webinar, on December 15th. We're also on an ongoing basis inviting companies who are interested in one-on-one advising to sign up through the Chamber. And then also we are open for applications for the 1LA Building Business to Win contracts. I've left some key links here, and I will copy them and drop them in the chat so that you can share them with your community. And here's my contact information if you'd like to reach me and my team. We also have Jason Cordova and Cassandra Aguilera on our team who can help support your work and partner with you as well. So thank you again for the opportunity and look forward to working with everyone.
Andrea, that's awesome. You know, one of the things that happens is that there's so many minority business supplier programs out there, but sometimes it's like hard to navigate where all of them are. As part of our contribution this week, we're going to be adding 10 more of these minority supplier diversity programs actually to the links that we have to offer. And I think that what you're doing is absolutely fantastic, because so often what small businesses just need is they just need someone to say hello to them, and then they're off to the races, especially if you equip them. And Angela, LAEDC has been such an anchor for all of this work. You guys are, I mean, it's your mission to really grow up Los Angeles, and it'd be fantastic if you could just show the suite, if you will.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And thank you to ISD for hosting this briefing for us this morning, as well as all of our strategic partners within Together for LA for your partnership, first and foremost, and for joining forces. We all have different expertise, and the power is truly in partnership. So we could not do this work and get these vital and valuable resources to our communities without this partnership. So just wanted to acknowledge all of our partners before I share my slides. All right, so just wanted to share my contact information. To start us off, I am the program manager at the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation, also known as LAEDC. I oversee the Together for LA program, which is one of many of our small business programs that are available within LAEDC. And of course, Together for LA is a strategic partnership. So we power Together for LA, but we are enhanced by our partners and their expertise. So my email address is on the screen, angela.amirkhanian@laedc.org, and I would love to connect with everyone and answer some further questions after this briefing. For those that are not familiar with LAEDC, we are actually a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we were founded in 1981. And our mission is to harness the power of private sector in collaboration with LA County and the city of LA to guide economic development and create more widely shared prosperity. So we truly believe in partnership. We are continuously partnering with community organizations, with the city of Los Angeles, the county of Los Angeles, and continuously learning about programs that we can participate in, any sort of resources that we can learn about and be knowledgeable about in order to share with the small businesses that we serve and assist and support. I know that Stephen gave an introduction about Together for LA, but just to go a little deeper into what exactly we do and who exactly we serve. So we are a strategic partnership whose mission is to strengthen and support specific audiences that we've targeted that are in need of resources during the pandemic. And those are, and statistically shown that women and diverse owned small businesses have been two of the hardest hit communities as during the pandemic and as we continue to reopen. So these two communities, both women-owned, diverse-owned, and BIPOC-owned communities are our target audience to get these resources to as they strive to recover from the economic crisis that was brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. And it is very important to acknowledge and stress that no-cost technical assistance and connections to small business resources have been made available with the generous support of Wells Fargo. We applied for Wells Fargo's Open for Business Fund. I know a lot of community organizations have been applying for this fund, but our program would not have been possible without Wells Fargo's support and sponsorship. Our mission to continue is to advance a more equitable, sustainable, and resilient economic recovery for small businesses and micro enterprises. I did want to mention that prior to our transition to Together for LA, when the pandemic first started, LAEDC, through private funding opportunities, launched the Connectory program. So when the pandemic started, April and March of 2020, we immediately created the Community Connectory program that was targeted to micro enterprises, small businesses, and nonprofit organizations. We realized that those three industries are most in need of resources, therefore created a very specific target and outreach program to assist nonprofits, small businesses, and micro enterprises. We continue to do so, fortunately, through Together for LA. But one of the things we actually did, which is the purpose of today's meeting, is connect with our community partners. Through the Connectory program, we partnered with over 50 nonprofit organizations. And just like today, what we did was partner with each other, learn about each other's resources, and really promote it to these industries that we were trying to serve and other underserved business communities most impacted by COVID-19. So I've listed all of the logos that we partnered with, including LA Area Chamber of Commerce, LISC LA, NLBWA, NABO, LA South Chamber. So we're continuously looking for community partners and organizations to connect with, to learn from each other, to leverage one another's resources, and other opportunities such as sharing resources, posting on one another's websites. We actually participated in meetings. We are continuously being invited to meetings, community presentations, and I welcome the opportunity to continue to do so. So if anyone attending today would like us as a group to attend your meeting as a guest speaker or a guest organization to talk about our services and the resources that we can share to your small business community. So please, I welcome the opportunity to continue to do that. And on that topic, here are some examples of some of the webinars, workshops, and symposiums that we attended and presented in both English and Spanish. One of which was the Asian Business Association's annual Business Pioneer Symposium. We attended as a virtual exhibitor, which was my first opportunity to do that. And that's on the first column, second row. So it was a virtual networking opportunity. That was a lot of fun for me. Anytime there's an opportunity for us to attend, share our no-cost technical assistance resources. And what we've also been doing is based on your audience, really curating a list of resources, programs, grants that your audience would benefit from. So we can certainly do so moving forward. Next, I would like to introduce you to one of our first big project when we launched Together for LA was really revamping our website. When the pandemic first started, we immediately changed our website to list every resource that we kept learning about. You know, as the pandemic was happening, along with everyone else, we were constantly waiting for new information and learning about new resources and, you know, the shutdowns and reopening. So along with everyone, every time we heard about a new loan or a new grant, we would put it up on the website. We get thousands of views on this website every single month. So that's really telling of how important these resources are, how important these, you know, funding opportunities, loans and grants are to small businesses. Something that I quickly implemented was a filter system on the website. So a business can simply go to laedc.org/coronavirus and filter the resources based on what industry they're from. If they're arts and entertainment, you can click on that button and get a specific list of resources that apply to them. If you are a small business that wants to learn about capital, which are loan and grant opportunities, sometimes cash prizes, you can click on that button and get a very specific list of resources that apply to you. So please promote this website. And also, I also welcome the opportunity if you, on behalf of your organization, have a resource that is appropriate for our audience, small businesses, women-owned, diverse-owned, BIPOC-owned communities, please email it to me. I will be happy to post it on the website. Next, I would like to introduce you to my colleague. She's actually a panelist on another event specific to the comeback of retail shopping during the holidays, which is also an interesting a topic that's coming up. Seta Zarabian is also part of the Together for LA program, and she is the person that is boots on the ground assisting small businesses with complimentary and confidential consulting. So she's a very important contact. If you know of a business that we can further assist, schedule either a video conference or a phone call to further learn about the small business's pain points, areas of need, and further assist them with additional resources that they could take advantage of. So she really does all of the detailed work in connecting with small businesses and providing them with further assistance. On that note, technical assistance is one of LAEDC's most valuable resources. We always have our technical assistance programs available to businesses of all sizes, of all industries across LA County. We have a team of multilingual assistance experts that are really knowledgeable about resources and connections that they can provide. And these are just some of the areas that we have knowledge and expertise in. Workforce training and development is a really hot topic during the pandemic as we reopen. Businesses are really struggling to find workforce as well as retain workforce. So that's an area that we can assist in. If a small business wants to do business in Los Angeles, we can assist with permitting, cost containment strategies, grant and loan, application assistance, business resilience resources, reopening guides, and so on. This graph will also show some of the main categories that we assist in. For example, workforce, like I mentioned, is a great need at this time. And the chart shows all of the connections to community organizations that we have contacts within. So we can connect a small business to a live person at AJCC, for example. So we save a lot of, the work that it would take to get to a live person. We can connect small businesses to ETP funding, recruitment screening, and so on. So this shows a little bit about our access to some of the connections that we established within the community. Lastly, to wrap things up, we have a business intake form on our website. So if a small business needs further assessment, we have a short intake form to gather some information about their industry, how many employees they have, as well as their areas of need. So once we do get that inquiry come in, we can further contact them to schedule an actual consultation with them. So please utilize that resource as well. Connect with us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. In fact, All of the webinars that we host are up on YouTube. We put the videos up on YouTube right away. LAEDC also launched economic briefings. So every month we host an economic briefing where our research team and our CEO, Bill Allen, will talk about trends, updates, news, announcements relating to the economy, as well as the pandemic. So those are very insightful to take a look at. As part of the Together for LA program, we also launched a webinar series. So we host 2 webinars each month, and they are always on an educational topic. Anytime we learn about a new grant, for example, we recently heard about the City of Los Angeles's Comeback Checks program, which are grants. It's a grant opportunity for small businesses generally. So anytime we learn about a new opportunity or resource for small businesses, we immediately host a webinar around it. The schedule is on laedc.org/coronavirus, and we typically announce the 2 upcoming for each month. And the 2 upcoming for November and December are around disaster preparedness. These webinars are open to businesses of all sizes. However, they are most appropriate for small-sized manufacturing businesses in LA County. So we have one on November 18th, 11 a.m., tips, tools, and best practices to outsmart disaster. And then on December 12th, we have risk and resiliency to outsmart disaster. Once again, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And with that said, thank you for your time. We are truly Together for LA and available for any further questions, collaborations, and we look forward to partnering with you.
Angela, thank you so much. I'd like to get some reactions, and I'm hoping that I could put Nancy and maybe Yosef and John Lim on the spot to see what you think and see how this can be as helpful as possible for you. But before we jump into that, I'd like to introduce someone on the ISD side who is overseeing and coordinating all of the different things that we've got coming into us. Patty Pellingon. Patty, can you just do super quick, like 1 minute, on the way that you've got the information organized? And I think that Angela, the way that we've got it right is that we're all sharing as we get information. We have like a central repository that everybody can access to put back onto their different sites, right? So Patty, just a minute on and what do you have going on right now?
Yeah, thank you for the introduction, Stephen. Again, hello, everyone. I am the program coordinator for ISD. I did want to take a second to remind all attendees that, as you can see, all the partners have very valuable and helpful COVID-19 resources and small business resources and pages on their website with different kinds of resources, from funding to programs from all different kinds of orgs, be it government, nonprofits, corporations, etc. I thought I'd take a second to also share my screen and share ISD's page. You will certainly see that at the top, we have a help desk that offers technical assistance for small businesses. I will absolutely share this link to our Together for LA page, as well as this email and phone number in the chat once I wrap up. And as it says, we offer technical assistance for small businesses, micro enterprises, and nonprofits in the LA area. Please feel free to reach out and share this resource on your websites with your clients and small businesses as well. And if you continue a little bit lower than that on our page, you will find resources for small businesses ranging from national and federal resources, ones more localized to LA, funding opportunities from foundations, corporations as well, from LISC, and then also resources catered to specific business owners. I understand that there was a question that was pre-submitted regarding grants available for minority and women business owners. You can absolutely find those on our website. I would also recommend signing up for the newsletters of the partners as well. I am signed up to those marketing lists, and I am always finding opportunities for women business owners, minority business enterprises. So pages like ours, like the partners pages and those marketing lists are certainly great places to look for those more specified funding opportunities. And so, yeah, thank you again, Stephen, for that time. I'll share this resource and contact info in the chat.
Thanks, Patty. And I understand that a number of community organizations that we've been reaching out to have also shared their links and their information with you, and that's starting to get put up as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We have had community organizations share links to their pages that we are always welcome to sharing on our site. And so if any attendees would like to do the same in the chat and share any of their small business and COVID resources, absolutely feel free, and feel free to send them to the couple of emails that I will be sharing very soon in the chat as well.
Fantastic. So Nancy, I'd love to put you on the spot a second and get your reaction to what you're hearing and how we can be more help to you. And I think that the mute thing might have reared up.
Just so you know, I put a thing in the chat that I've been on the phone with tech support for our accounting software, so I did not hear your question.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Nancy. I just wanted to get your reaction to this. How can this be as helpful as possible to you? What are the kinds of things that you would like to share? Just a quick reaction to what you've heard.
I think, first of all, there's a lot of organizations out there that are doing very similar things. And I don't think, while it's great to hear what everyone's doing, I think the best thing too is to network. Like we're the regional chamber for the San Fernando Valley, and we do similar things to the LA chamber, as does other groups in the area. And I don't want businesses to think these are all the only resources out there. And I think that's been a big issue for us during the pandemic, as we find out later on from businesses that they could have came locally, or dealt with us locally, or dealt with the Alliance or someone else. And so I think by bringing us all together, it's a great idea to share resources and see where we have similar programs.
Exactly.
Program running. I could have a program running. I did a certification program just like the LA Chamber. Maybe mine's running at a different time, and then we didn't have it going. We could have referred them to the LA Chamber or vice versa.
Exactly. And that's the idea, that there's plenty of work for everyone. And also people hear things in different ways from different places. So the more that we're able to kind of cross-reference what each other is doing, the more likely somebody, the small business will be able to connect it from somebody or some source. So no, that's fantastic. And I think we are adding some resources from you, if I'm not mistaken, on this part. John, Lynn, John, I'm very curious about, your reaction to this. And if you could share a little bit about what your organization is doing, that would be fantastic. And how can we help you more?
Sorry, I joined as a panelist and I lost the second half of the question.
Oh, no, it's just, what do you think of this and how can we help you more, with what you are doing?
Sure. So right now I'm actually trying to put together resources within the department to kind of utilize or to facilitate the flow of information. So having kind of pre-built websites and resources already put together, like Angela's website, like the site that Patricia just shared, like these are kind of the idea that I want to go towards. And it may be a lot easier to just contribute to that one and then utilize it internally instead of trying to create our own starting from scratch, because our time could be better spent utilizing the resources instead of trying to build a wheel from or reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. And I understand that Mandarin is like critical, that resources in Mandarin are critical for a number of your clients, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So one of the things that we've been thinking about is that how can we partner with the Chinatown Service Center to
Mhm.
make sure that we're really crafting this in ways that really connect as well.
A lot of what we do is we translate it in-house. So it may not be the official language, but then at least we can get that information out to our clients and the people who actually pass around the flyers. So usually we distribute it through our small business program. We also distribute it through a few different partners, but right now we don't have a consistent set standard of like, oh, these are the resources we always send to yet.
Okay. Well, I hope that this is the start of a really good dialogue and that we are able to continue to improve that process. I wanted to turn to and Yosef, forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong, Yosef Jalil, with the Emergency Network of Los Angeles. And Yosef, I'm wondering if you could share a little bit about what you're doing, what you think of what we're doing, and how we could continue to improve to work with your network.
Sure. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, hi. Stephen, the name pronunciation was correct. Yosef Jalil from Emergency Network Los Angeles. We're an umbrella group of nonprofit and government partners at the municipal, county, state, and federal levels, working in the field of emergency management. So oftentimes, you know, when I say emergency management, we might think of fires and earthquakes, natural disasters of that sort, and that certainly isn't our purview. But we take a more holistic approach to emergency management, and we really look at issues like the coronavirus, poverty, homelessness, unemployment, and look at kind of these as emergencies as well. So we're really involved in community welfare, as well as natural disasters of the conventional type. First of all, what I can say is, you know, what I've seen here has been really impressive. I think in terms of this county, which is the one I was born and raised in, we are very unique in our profile and our diversity, and as such, you know, we really can't, like, there's no cookie cutter solution to recovery in this county. It's going to require a lot of different voices. It's going to require coordination and working together in ways that perhaps aren't, you know, reflected in other parts of the country. Diversity is our strength, but it's also something that we constantly need to be reminding ourselves of. You know, what may work in, say, Chinatown might not work necessarily in Long Beach or in East Los Angeles. And we have to be sensitive to the needs of our residents and approach recovery kind of in a culturally sensitive and geographically sensitive manner. So essentially, kind of where we fit in the puzzle is, as I said, we're, you know, involved in all aspects of emergency management. So that includes recovery from disasters, and we certainly perceive the coronavirus, right, and its related economic impacts as a disaster. And you know, we're very involved and invested in, you know, wanting to see Angelenos get back on their feet. So we're really open to partnering with whomever in terms of finding solutions in doing that. I represent an umbrella group of nonprofits that really are as large as the Red Cross and the Salvation Army and the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank and others, but also smaller community partners, smaller houses of faith that work at the neighborhood level. And there's, you know, great advantages of working with organizations at kind of both sides of the spectrum. One, with the large organizations, you have, great resources, great reach, a national profile. But with those smaller organizations, you have immense community trust that really can't be replicated with, by, say, government organizations or kind of the larger, more nationally or internationally known organizations. So
absolutely.
yeah.
And Joseph, I mean, that's why as soon as we started talking, I was like, we tracking with you like 100%, because it's really getting in and working with those community groups, sometimes at the smallest level, where you can have some of the biggest impact. I think it's terrific. And as part of that, I think I'm going to join. ISD is going to join the Emergency Network of Los Angeles because we think that it's such an important network to be a part of. I want to be respectful of everyone's time, and we're drawing to about 4 minutes before the end of the scheduled session here. I'm perfectly willing to stay on afterwards, but I'd like to give each of our other speakers one, a moment just to say either a word of encouragement or a next step or how you would like to engage with everyone. And then we'll close the formal part of this conversation. Whoever wants to stay on, happy to take questions, etc. So I'm going to start actually with you, Angela, and Angela, Andrea, and Tunua as our closing, as our closer.
Sure, thank you. And I appreciate all the great feedback that's coming in the chat, that, the information and the programs and the resources that we are sharing are important and insightful and informative. And that's exactly what we want to do. And that's exactly what the purpose of this meeting was this morning. Just to reiterate a little bit of what I already presented. So just areas of collaboration to remind everyone and encourage. We would love to be notified if you have an upcoming meeting, a member meeting, a roundtable, a board meeting, any sort of, expos or symposiums and so on. We'd love to participate as a guest speaker to share information about Together for LA to your small business network. The audience that we want to reach are, once again, women-owned, diverse-owned, and BIPOC communities. So there's an opportunity for us to share some of the resources that we are currently working on or have launched or are currently open, like grants and loan opportunities. We'd love to participate in that. Once again, if you have a program within your organization that would be applicable to the audience that we're serving, please email it to me directly. I personally do all of the website updates, so I'll be happy to share that on our website as well. And lastly, if you know of a business that is in need of further technical assistance, go ahead and also email that business's contact information to me, and we will further contact them to learn more about their needs and take it from there. And thank you so much to everyone for listening, your time, and your partnership.
Thank you so much, Angela. By the way, I haven't said this lately, you're a rock star. Andrea.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Completely agree. Definitely a rock star. I just really want to echo everything that everyone has said here today. In my remarks, I shared that it takes a village, and I just keep repeating that because it really does. It's the partnership and the leadership of everyone here on the line, as well as our expansive and extensive regional partnership and collaborations across this area. I mean, it just really takes all of our efforts, and it takes all of our work in doing things collaboratively. And so the more that we know about each other's work, the more we can stitch it together, the more that we can connect, the more that we can make sure that our small business communities, the folks that we work so closely with, know that all of these resources are available to them. So thank you all for your leadership and your support.
Andrea, it's such a joy working with you on this. Really appreciate it. And Tunua, what's the last word?
It's 12 o'clock. So we have got to close today's session. Collaboration is the word that we use to get this started, and it's the one that we're going to use to close today out. It has been a pleasure working with my colleagues virtually over the last year and a half, going on 2 years. And it's already been said, get connected to any of our organizations. We're all connected to each other. And that way you will be able to reach new markets and be able to grow based on your wildest dreams. So, Stephen?
Thank you so much. And Tunua, I think I mentioned at the start, just it's so impressive what LISC LA can do and the capabilities. And it's great to see, you know, real tangible investments in the community, and just absolutely inspiring. So this is going to conclude our formal presentation for today. We're going to plan to do several of these over the next few months, where basically, you know, we can share information with each other and really try and push out, as Tunua said, in the spirit of collaboration. You know, it's in the name, Together for LA. So thanks very much, everyone. And I will stay on a little bit after this to answer any questions, but this concludes our formal remarks. Thank you and have a great day.